Hello everybody, this is Jesus Quesadilla and welcome back to Let's Play Fable, the Lost Chapters for the PC. So we're going to start out today by showing you a new element of the game. If you come over through these vines over here, although I guess it would be more effective to use my sword on them, so we're just going to do that. Once you break through the vines over here in this section of the game, you just come over here and you'll see this over here floating in the air. This is a silver key. Now, throughout the land of Albion, you'll find out that there are a bunch of these chests scattered throughout with numbers on them. These numbers indicate the number of silver keys you need to unlock them.
Look at this filthy pile of rags. He really expects people to give him gold.
Alright, so here in the game we're presented with yet another choice. We can choose to either help this bully who's terrorizing this homeless hero, or we can help the hero defend himself against the bully. Anyway, as I was saying about the silver keys, during this Let's Play we're not going to be doing a 100% run, because the silver key chests don't actually yield any real rewards of any real merit. There are weapons contained in some of them with unique features, however none of them are the best in the game, none of them are all that important, so for the most part I'm going to be ignoring the silver keys during this playthrough, so I apologize if you were looking for that.
You're as bad as that stinking beggar.
So we went ahead and took care of the bully by farting. In this game, you can use different emoticons. One of them is actually farting, another is belching, and you can use that to garner reactions from NPCs in the game. So we went ahead and did that. That was more or less the good choice of the two. So I thought today that I would go ahead and take you guys to a tour of Bowerstone, which is the central hub city area for the game. So we're going to venture on that way. It's north of where you start out from the guild. And so if you just come across this drawbridge, you'll see these big double doors here guarded by these two guard towers. So we're going to go ahead and take our first look at Bowerstone South.
Oi! You're new here, aren't you? We have some rules round here that you need to know about. Bowerstone is a peaceful town. I'll have to confiscate your weapons for now. There are shops, inns, lots of different people, games, all kinds of things. Why not pay the tavern a visit first? It's the building in front of you, just up the road from here. Oh, and keep an eye open for Lady Grey. Treat her with respect. She is the mayor after all. Have a look around and enjoy your stay in Bowerstone.
Alright guys, that is Bowerstone. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through a tour, but first before we get to that, Maze is here and we're going to trigger a little cutscene with him as well.
Have you? Yes, I heard about your encounter with the Wasp Queen. Most of Bowerstone is talking about it, but you shouldn't let that kind of thing go to your head. Anyway, that's not why I called you here. You see, there are dark forces gathering that put your giant insect to shame. Tell me, how much do you remember of the night I took you to the guild? Of the raid on Oakvale? Not much, I wager. A most terrible night. I thought those bandits had killed your whole family, and that you were going to be next. But it seems there may have been another survivor. Your sister.
What a twist!
I'm afraid it's only a rumor, and there's no way to be certain yet.
So here at this point, the revelation is given that your sister actually may have survived the bandit raid at the beginning of the game. So little details are actually given about that at this point. However, this will also open up a new quest for you to take back at the guild. We're not going to do that quite yet. Instead, we're actually going to go ahead and show off some of the features in the town. What do I look like, kid? I'm not a pedophile. I'm not going to follow you. Anyway, so there's actually a quest line we can do with her, but I'm going to ignore that for the time being. Instead, I'm going to show off, like I said, some of the shops and the features in the town. This here is the clothing merchant. If you come here, you can upgrade your armor, so you can get plate armor and chainmail and that sort of thing to increase your defense. Over here we have the weaponsmith. This is where you can upgrade from your starting sword and starting bow. You can get axes, hammers, long swords, stuff like that. And over here, you can get haircuts, and you can change your character's facial appearances. You can give him beards and other kinds of facial hair. And just one other small point of interest up here. This is the Schoolhouse. You come here to complete one... Well, it's kind of a long quest. We'll get into that more. It'll actually be triggered within this episode. And then over here is a Marital House. You can purchase this and either choose to live in it or rent it out. We will be purchasing that by the end of this episode and renting it out so we can start generating money from that. You can also purchase it if you want to get married to a character, and that'll be the house you live in. But for the time being, I'm just going to come back to the tavern where Maze was in front of. And I'm going to show you one of my favorite features of this game. This, first of all, is the Barkeep. You can buy food and items from him. And then this guy over here will actually play a game with you. He'll play a memory card game of concentration. If you manage to beat him in the game, you can actually wager money, and you can earn back whatever you wager and double it. So this is actually my favorite way in the game to generate money because it's a pretty simple game. My system, more or less, for doing this just consists of going row through row and trying to remember each card in each row. They give you a pretty generous time limit. I don't often find myself going over it. So with the maximum wager being 1,000 gold, you can more than make your fair share of money early on in the game. So I've already made a little bit of money. What I'm going to do is go ahead and skip forward to after I accumulate a bit of gold. I'm going to probably get around 20,000 before I go any further. Oh, by the way, this is a Briar Rose doll. That'll be a part of a quest I'll explain later. So I'm going to go ahead and cut ahead, and when I come back, I'll have earned about 20,000 gold by playing this game.
Give me some beer.
Hey, mister, do you have any hero dolls?
Okay, here's that quest I was mentioning earlier that you needed the doll for, that we won from doing the card pairs game the first time. This is the one that involves the Schoolhouse as well, actually. Throughout the game, there will be 7 hero dolls that are modeled after heroes in the game, and actually at one point of the game, you get one modeled after you. Once you accumulate all 7, you complete that. Alright, so one more skip ahead. I went ahead and purchased a bunch of items using that new gold that I accumulated. First of all, I'll show you the armor upgrades that I got. I went ahead and bought a full suit of chainmail armor, but I'm going to go ahead and take the helmet off because, as you can see, I also got a new haircut, and I'd like to show that off too. Going on to the weapon upgrades that I went ahead and purchased a steel longsword. At this point in the game, it's probably better to use lighter weapons if you haven't upgraded your character's physique yet, as you won't be able to hold heavier weapons. And I also got an ebony longbow, so that's an upgrade from our previous bow. So with all of that equipped, our hero is looking a little more heroic now, which is good considering we're going to start getting into some missions that require a lot of combat. Okay, so one more thing I'd like to show off to you guys. I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to where it is real quickly. One more merchant I want to be showing you before the end of this episode. Okay, so you might have noticed, maybe not, that people refer to us in this game as Chicken Chaser. That is the default nickname for your hero, and this guy, who's stationed right outside of the guild exit, when you first leave the guild, you'll run into him. You can purchase new nicknames from him for people to call you. So I've already decided what nickname I want for this Let's Play. You guys might be thinking, oh, maybe he'll pick Assassin or Liberator, but no, I think for this play, I'm just going to go with Arseface. So our hero from here on out will be referred to as Arseface. Alright, so there you have it. So people in the game will now refer to our character as Arseface. Alright, thank you guys for joining me. I think this is going to be the end of the episode right about here. Feel free to leave feedback or comments below, and that's about it. Peace.